Hey everybody.
Hello guys.
Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
Sunday. We're not doing anything super exciting on this Sunday, but we did want to take some time to go through some of the YouTube comments that we've had over the past week, especially comments from people who are regulars here on the channel. We got so many nice thoughts and comments and words when I was going through my health situation, and we really want to acknowledge those and read them out and just sort of feel special and loved and grateful in our hearts. So we're going to just do a little video this morning going back and forth. We'll read out some of the comments and kind of give an idea who that person is, and then we'll be writing a little response back.
Yeah, so we did go and grab a coffee from our favorite place, Burr and Berry, and like Jill said, we're just going to sit down and connect with you guys today for Sunday's video.
I'm sorry this lighting is not the best, but we are in a condo that doesn't have a lot of natural light, so this is about the best we can do.
Doing the best, yep, you can.
Let's jump right in.
First up, I've got a really nice comment from Florida Bike Vlogger. We talk back and forth almost daily. It's from yesterday's Run With Me video, which was through Charlotte, and he just says, early bird gets the worm, love the run series. Parking in Target, yes. Florida Bike Vlogger, it was a good call, especially considering the last time I ran this greenway was when we got our truck broken into the morning we were headed to Washington, D.C. It says respectable how you can run and talk at the same time. That is that's a given art. You know, I try to run not too fast. Supposedly the old adage was if you could sing happy birthday to yourself and it was in complete sentences, you were not running too fast. But it's a different tactic altogether when I'm kind of holding the camera like this with my left hand and pointing over here with my right hand and talking all together. So thank you for the comment. But yes, it has been a learned art to try to get that down, to show everybody new locations I run in.
The next comment I'm seeing is from our friend Brody with Rich, who is also a YouTuber and has some cool adventures in Florida. He says, on the video where we spent the afternoon at my grandma's house, he says, I remember those times at my Nana's house.
Yeah.
And then he said, renewed passport. Any international travel anytime soon?
So on some of my standalone videos the last few weeks, I have kind of dipped in to say that we've started making 2026 plans, starting to pencil them in. And we think we might have something down. We don't want to announce it yet because we want to be a little bit more cemented before we do. But yes, we wanted to make sure Julie had an updated passport so that we might not be out of the country and be hovering on the you know, what is that window? The window of maybe not being able to get back in.
My passport expires, I think, in June or July of 2026. And so I knew some countries there's like a 6-month window where you can't travel if your passport might expire while you're there. So I expected the passport renewal process to potentially take months. So we went ahead and got the ball rolling on that. I think right before we left Florida.
That's right.
Or right after we got back from Florida, thinking it would take months, and it took maybe 10 days. Like
maybe 10 days.
Yeah, like a week and a half tops. And I don't know how many of those are considered government business days, but this in the middle of a government shutdown too. I was so impressed how fast I got
I was too.
my passport. Yeah. Like Michael said, we have ideas for 2026, what we would like to do. And now we are all good to go.
Next up, I've got my buddy Carl. It's on our Thursday, so the day after we got back from New York. It says, if we really think hard on the next adventure, we should know. And then he's got the thinking emoji. He wants to say Crystal River or Ocala for an immediate repeat, but also feels that he's not right. Well, he's excited to see the next adventure now that the New York City news is behind us, all of us. Absolutely, Carl. This is our community as well. And see what you both can find. Two things I will say very quickly. One is we kind of left New York this time essentially saying, look, we've got to stop making New York the meeting point for doctor's appointments only and not seeing this city, because this was our favorite city on earth prior to finding this doctor to see Julie with her condition. And so we want to make that a priority moving forward, to be able to spend good times and not just nervous times in New York City. And then second to that, you I will say we'll wait till the end of the video to make an official announcement, but I will say you're closer than you think you are about being right. Maybe not 100% right, but a lot of the percent right, Carl. And yeah, watch in a few more minutes, and I think we'll tell you kind of a cemented plan for the next several weeks when we announce it. We have a few more days here in town, but yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit.
I have another comment from our friend Florida Bike Vlogger on our good news about no surgery. He said, "Speedy recovery, sending best wishes and thanks for updating and keeping us along. I understand we are mostly digital." I think he's talking about just our friendship together, but it always feels deeper than that for me personally. I know what you feel on not feeling like you had a community thing in Florida. Really makes me feel like I'm part of the family. I don't have that feeling in my real life, so thank you for that. That comment really, really made me feel special, because that's exactly how we feel about the people that we see commenting regularly on our channel. And I think the situation that we're going through with my health, just like last week where we spent a few videos before New York talking about it and just being completely real and upfront and honest on this channel, we got so many nice comments similar to this one that really made us realize how many of these people that seem like just screen names on a computer really are real friends. I didn't talk to most of my immediate family and my immediate close friends about a lot of the things that we shared right here on our platform, and that's just because I didn't really feel as comfortable sharing with them as I do here. We started vlogging, daily vlogging, because we wanted to bring a little bit more of a personal touch to our channel. If there's people who want to watch the type of adventures we have or the sort of unconventional lifestyle that we have. And we weren't really expecting to make connections with people like Bike Vlogger. That's been such an unexpected blessing. Our YouTube channel was actually born while we were in Florida in August of 2022, and we had lived in Florida for about 6 months. I was trying so hard to make friends in Florida. I have a list of 10 females who were close to my age, within a few years of my age, from both of the jobs that I worked, from the Bumble BFF app that I met out and about. I was trying so hard to make friends in Florida, and the 2+ years that we lived there, I just really never connected with anybody. They never felt like anything more than just superficial friends. And I think it's really hard in a place like Florida where so many people are tourists, so many people are snowbirds. It's really hard to meet genuine friends in Florida, and I feel for you, Bike Vlogger, if that's what you're going through. We feel really fortunate that we created a YouTube channel and that we've met people like you. And most of the people that we mentioned in this video today, probably all of them, are people that we consider friends, and we really hope that we get to meet in person someday, because you all feel like friends that we really know in real life.
Next up, I have a very nice comment on the best news, so the day after our appointment, no surgery, and it's from Anthony, and Anthony says, "Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you're all having a great time in New York." Well, that was mixed emotions. I kind of talked about that already. But yes, of course, we got finished. We were so excited, by the way, we decided not to go into Midtown Manhattan and do the town up, but to get back on an airplane as soon as possible, to get back home, to get Abra, to plan our next adventure. But Anthony also says, "I hope Michael will be okay." And I appreciate that. I was okay. I am, and I said this yesterday on my run video, I am more of a head in the clouds, not ditzy, but a dreamer kind of way, a half glass, or let's say a glass half full, trying to stay positive all the time. And sometimes that does get difficult to do in situations like this, where it involves Julie. And it's hard for me to do that, because on the flip side of that, it's like, well, I don't know what I would do if anything happened to her. So I can be very upbeat and positive about a lot of things, but when it comes to her or to something with Abra, you know, my mode and my mentality shifts, and then it becomes almost like a rescue type of situation where I have to fix everything. That I don't know why my brain works that way, but it does. So anyway, I really appreciate the comment. I was okay only because in my mind I had made up, a fork in the road, and if it was a procedure, then we would go at it together and make adjustments as needed, if that makes sense. And if it wasn't, and I knew that that was a 50-50 shot, then we get to, I guess, business as usual, if you will, full steam ahead on the next adventure. But, that was kind of with a dose of salt this time. So that was me being very cautious and hoping for that, rather than just telling Julie, oh, I know it's going to be okay, type of a thing. So, but anyway, I really appreciate the comment, Anthony. And, we take it one step at a time, and just so thankful that it came out on the other side of that and that it was good news.
I have 3 here, and they're all super short, but I'm just going to roll them all into one and then respond to them individually. This is on our New York City travel videos. Carl's Up Adventure, another good friend here on the channel, says, glad you made it to NYC. Wishing you luck today. I did see that before I went to the appointment. It was very, very sweet of you to wish me luck. I'm not sure this person's name, but we have talked quite a bit here on YouTube. The handle is YJSSTR. And this person says, just caught up with your health journey. Happy to hear your great news. Thank you. We're happy to have great news, and we're happy to share the great news. And then my friend Robin, who is another YouTuber here in North Carolina, she says, I am so, so happy for you, Julie, with a heart. So I'm going to respond to each and every one of these now. Thank you all so much for the nice words. That meant a lot to me, especially the morning where I just was not really sure what I was going to be facing that day. And then when we got back and I checked our YouTube and I saw all these nice things, it just kind of made me bold over the moon that so many people were wishing good things for me.
Next up, I have a comment on our New York City travel day from Don Mattingly 3386, my favorite first baseman of all time. So I would like to talk more about if that is your real name, or if you're just a fan of the Yankees. Because that was my favorite player as a kid. I mean, just for forever, I think, until Ken Griffey Jr. came along. Anyway, he says, you're not in Long Island, you're in Long Island City, which is Queens. We knew it was Queens, yet we continued to say Long Island. I'm not sure why we did that, because we stayed for several days with our brother and sister-in-law a few years ago in Queens. And I ran under the Queensboro Bridge many different times while we were there visiting, and we weren't 2 miles from there, and yet we kept saying Long Island instead of Long Island City or Queens. So I appreciate the correction there. You're exactly right. That was a misspeak on our part, but I had to stop in and comment on the name, because I absolutely love the name and would like to know more, if you're watching this one, as to why that's your handle on YouTube.
I have another comment here from a family that we connected with, who also make YouTube videos. She commented on the video we made the day before we went to New York. The channel is called Just the iLogs Adventures, and they go on cruises, and I actually watched her Bali, Indonesia vlog. But she left me a really sweet comment expressing how sorry she was that I was uneasy about the unknown, and wishing me well, hoping that I have a good experience in New York, and saying that she really wishes while I was in New York I could come visit them in New Jersey. She sent me a lot of love and care, and that meant a lot. That means a lot to hear from somebody that we don't hardly even know. We've only commented back on a few videos. So thank you to Just the iLogs. I'm about to give you a comment right back. Another nice one. It's from our friend Palmetto Joe. He is not a YouTube content creator, but he has been commenting on our videos for a very long time. I think we were actually talking when we lived in Melbourne. I'm pretty sure he lives, I want to say, on the east coast of Florida, maybe in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's
I think that's right.
But he commented on my short and just said, congrats. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's always good to hear from you, Palmetto Joe.
Next, we have a regular Mustang 6 the Force, or I call him Rocky. Just has praying hands and a warm, smiley face for the best news ever, no surgery. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to use emojis, if there's 2 more emojis that were more appropriate for the situation. So I'm very happy again with everyone's well wishes. And, I know, because he's been on the channel for a very long time, that he's very happy to see that Julie is happy and healthy and can go on our next adventure.
I have 2 comments I want to read. The first one is from our friend KV Howells. She lives in Southern California, and I have watched her videos. I don't know, this girl travels all over the world and she posts cool stuff. She's also done some races, some marathons. She posted on my update about my mouth and said, "So happy for you, no surgery. Thank you." I feel like your name is Kimberly. I don't want to misspeak if it's not, but I'm pretty sure KV Howells is Kimberly. Thank you so much for the well wishes. That means a lot to me. And then I also saw a comment here by Robin. I have to read out to you, babe. It says, "I am over the moon happy for you, Julie." And I'm going to say, Michael, he is definitely a keeper. That man loves you like nobody's business, and it shows through all these vlogs and his words. He seems very protective and he wants what's best for you. You're a good man, Michael. Michael's all teared up. Let's show you.
I already told the people yesterday on the vlog I can't talk about Julie because I'll just start crying.
Oh.
I said that yesterday. I was like, I have to stop talking about Julie now because I can't cry in between the runs when I'm stopping and starting the camera.
That's one of the nicest things. Robin always says the nice. She'll leave a comment for me and say all these nice things about you, and then she wrapped it up and said, as far as Princess Abra, she is eating up all those cuddles and pets from Julie while you two are in the vehicle. Yeah, she is spoiled rotten. We went to brunch this morning and just had omelets, and we sat outside because Abra came with us, and we just pull up a chair to the breakfast table with Abra, and I'll eat a bite of food, and then I'll pick a little piece of egg, and then I'll have another bite of food, and she gets a little bite of ham, and she's like our child. I'm sure people look at us and wonder, why in the world are we treating a dog like most people treat their infant? But she is spoiled rotten, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you, Robin, for that comment. I've composed myself now so I can say that with a straight face and not get emotional. Moving on to one of our other buddies. Again, Carl is back with the no surgery video. Yay, Julie, with 2 of the, I think it's the celebratory, the streamers. Super happy. That was the outcome. And you guys can keep exploring and doing adventures with no limits. Honestly, the only limitation is little Abra. We always make a plan and a schedule to make sure we're not gone from her too long. We set our 4-hour, even though she could probably hold it longer, we set a 4-hour time limit and we adjust as needed. Same with travel. We thought first we were going to travel with her to New York City, and then decided that if it was good news, we could come back sooner rather than later. And once I spoke to the doctor and he said, hey, it's an overnight, we thought, again, putting Abra first, we think it would be better to leave her in Charlotte at, I think, a dog boarding service that she's been at since she was just a few months old and could start staying. So anyway, I appreciate the comment, Carl. You are right. I mean, even though I guess I will say a little bit more than what I said before about positivity and glass half full. The way that the setup began was different than it had before in the office. Let me say it like that. And there was a lot more moving parts. A lot of people coming in and coming out and putting napkins here and kind of opening up that over there. And we're getting the trays ready, and they're already putting the bib on Julie, and they've turned on the imaging computer software. I really my heart just sank. And Julie saw that I was starting to look worried. Because I thought they've never done this before. So again, I really appreciate the comment, because at that point it was just like, okay, my mood and my mind has shifted. I need to be prepared for where do we go next. And what I mean by that is, how do we adjust and how do we adapt? How do we get back for Julie to get settled, and how do we get back to get Abra as soon as we can? And so it was like 4 words in, the doc says, I'm not going to do anything today. Just completely burst that bubble in a good way and made the other one come off, and the weight of all of that come off immediately. And I said this on the video the other day, it takes Julie a different processing time than it does me. And I think that's just a male-female thing too. But you're absolutely right. We can't be more grateful, gracious, thankful to be able to say, where is the next adventure? And the limitation just being Abra is I don't know. Words really can't express how I feel about that news.
Dara O'Malley is a new friend here on the channel. She actually found our channel, and then I went to check her out, and she makes really interesting content that's mostly about how to be more sustainable, how to use up things that you already own or repurpose things that you already own, downsize, make your journey towards minimalism, avoiding overconsumption and whatnot. I have really come to like her content a lot. And she was part of the inspiration behind me starting my own personal second YouTube channel, which is just about girly stuff, mostly makeup. But she kind of inspired me to start looking at possibly doing some similar things with my enormous makeup and nail polish collection. But she left me a comment and said, "So happy," and thank you, Dara. I really appreciate that nice comment. I'm enjoying watching your content, and I leave you as many comments as I can because I wish you posted more. Almost every morning when I make my coffee, I go check my subscriptions to see if there's any new videos. I'm like, I hope Dara posted one.
All right, this one made me chuckle, so I had to move this one up to next. It's Carl again, and it is about well wishes the day before when it was the mental health day before we took off to New York. And I'll go through the positivity and riding through this together, and we appreciate it. I've responded to Carl both here and in the comments section, but I thought what made me chuckle on this one was on that video, I had found the time to go get a haircut. And so when we checked back in the evening, I think I had just gotten out of the shower to rinse all the hair off of me, but there was nothing. There was no product in my hair. And so he says, "Yes, Michael, this is probably the first time that I've seen the hair without the gel." I had a wait a minute moment there. Yeah, I know. You hardly ever see me without. It's not gel. I actually moved away from gel into a pomade, a waxy stuff, and I don't use a whole lot. It takes like 10 seconds to fix my hair. No one ever believes me. That and the fact that I do not color my hair, no one believes that either at my age, but whatever, I'm lucky for that. But that night, when I looked it back when we were editing it, I was like, oof, that's a little bit rough. I get a lot of humidity in the hair, and it gets thick on me. And then he says, the cheese soup is continuing to thrive. It is, and I'll be honest with you, if I walked over and opened the fridge right now, you would see leftovers that's probably going to get warmed up for this evening. When we get on something in the fall, we usually ride that out until we're sick of it, and then we won't have it again for another full year. Safe travels, thank you. It was, you know that now, post. And then P.S., Julie, you hinted a birthday in October. So do I need to say happy birthday in each of my posts until we get the day right? Well, Carl, I will say it's not happened yet. So you can start to say happy birthday this week coming up. You can say that.
I don't even know which day of this week my birthday falls on.
Yeah, I don't know either. Honestly, I have to check that.
My birthday is October 23rd. And 10/23 is, do you have a weird number where you see it all the time? I see the numbers 10/23 at least once a day. I see it on the clock every single day, and at 10:30 in the morning, I'm never doing anything specific where I should be near a phone. It never fails. I look down at my phone, 10/23. Or we'll be driving and the address of where we're going is 10/23, or the movie showtime is 10/23. Like I see this number.
You do.
Every day. I don't even point it out to you as often as it actually happens, but it's my birthday, 10/23, 1023. You don't have to remember to wish me a happy birthday, though. Thank you
Thursday.
very much.
I think
Is
that's
it Thursday?
Yeah, this week.
My birthday is not really, I don't really consider it a super big deal. I don't do anything special for my birthday, but this year I'm turning 40, and both of my best friends are also turning 40. They don't actually know each other, though. But the best friend that I've had since I was 10 years old, I went over to her house back in August because she was going to Italy and now we're leaving town. So we really didn't get to see each other around our 40th birthdays. So back in August, we went out and got some cheap decorations from Amazon, and we did a little happy birthday photo shoot together just to mark, it's basically our 30-year friendship anniversary. And That was probably the most amazing thing I've ever done to celebrate a birthday.
Yeah, that was fun. The guys we just went out and had a bonfire out back, and let them too do their own thing. But yeah,
Do you saw them over the hill?
No, you're not. You saw her yesterday, and the first thing Julie says to her is, "This is my friend. She is 40. I'm younger than her." And I was like, "Whoa!"
This is my friend. She is 40. I'm in my 30s. Like there's a whole decade in between.
Yeah.
She's like,
"Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I'm so much wiser now," and so it was funny. It was a cute moment.
Yeah, I just know a lot of October people, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know when your birthday is, but I hope you have a really happy one, whenever it comes, Carl.
Next up is my brother-in-law, Marshall, and it's on the same video of the Unknown, the Mental Health Day. So it's, again, another comment about my hair, because I don't know how many times Julie might have seen me without any product in my hair.
We talking about your hair again?
Yeah, no. It's apparently, I didn't know it was this big of a thing. I don't know why that is. I don't feel like I overdo my hair. It's not like I fix it before bed or anything like that. I do get up in the morning and put a little water in it to kind of quaff it before I go to the gym, and then come back and shower and, do the whole shampoo and so forth, and comb it one more time. Not comb it. I do not use a comb. I always make sure it's short enough that I don't have to use a comb. I only use my hands. But anyway, Marshall he gives me a thumbs up for the poofy hair look, though. He likes the poofy hair look. Yeah, he would. Yeah. And then he said sorry for all the anxiousness around the New York trip with a frowny face. And of course, he knew that was coming too. So yeah. Anyway, good news. But I thought I would pop in and answer his comment about he likes the poofy hair look. But you got to understand, Marshall. I've seen Marshall's. I don't know how many different hair lengths that Marshall has, and the only thing I've ever seen him put in his hair is water. So I can totally understand how I get the thumbs up on his end for the poofy hair look.
I'm looking ahead at comments coming down the pike, and there's lots more comments coming up about your hair.
This is a thing. I didn't know this was going to be a thing.
I did not know that was going to happen.
Okay.
Comment here from our friend. Did you see that? Nice quick vlog today. All good though. I hope your family is well. I hope you're doing well too, Mike. You and Emma. I haven't gotten any recent information on your house fiasco. I'm really curious what's going on with that. And we are really hoping that we can cross paths with you in 2026. We were sort of holding off making any plans because we didn't have any idea if I was going to be able to make plans going forward or what restrictions I might be under. And also, with my passport expiring, I just wanted to go ahead and handle getting that renewed. Only took a week and a half. So we are all set to go and to travel, and we're really thinking that we want to try to make something happen where we can cross paths with you and Emma next year. We would love to meet you both. Let me know down below what's going on in y'all's life.
My buddy Carl is next. This is our Wicked video, a Wicked twist on our Saturday. Let's see. Oh, this was the morning I was at Alexander Graham Elementary School, a track which I have ran for years and years while we lived in Charlotte full time. I noticed what was weird, and I can't remember if I talked about it on the video that morning or not, was there was never a chain link. There was a chain link fence around the whole thing, but there was always a piece that was open specifically to allow people through. It wasn't like we were sneaking in or anything. And this time, there's a gate there now and a lock, and it says, like, we want everybody in the community to be able to utilize the track, and so they give you like a QR code. I did not scan it, so I don't know if it was for a donation or if it was to register or what have you, but Carl's saying a maintenance guy, why does the maintenance guy always stand in the way of being able to run freely? I don't know what ended up happening. I wasn't the only car in the parking lot. I was the only person on the track that morning at that time. But yeah, I guess maybe they have video surveillance kind of out there on some of the light poles. But he ended up coming out and asked if I was on the list. And I don't know, I couldn't think through nor I guess really wanted to lie to him. So I was like, no, I didn't know there was a list. I've been running here for a very long time, and that just really didn't matter. And that's unfortunate. I don't know. He didn't tell me that, we can't because there's an event here, because I try to get in and out before 8 o'clock, because even on a Saturday, there's not going to be an event, and school certainly isn't in session, where I would be, hindering a team sport or a practice or something like that going on. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder what info they need. Yeah, exactly, Carl. I don't know either, because like I said, I didn't scan that. Formal background check. Yeah, probably, right? Huge fan of Wicked. Looking forward to part 2 of the movie to come out in November. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, no one mourns the wicked. That's funny. A couple of things. Yes, Wicked shot up in my list of favorites a long time ago. Joy and I went several years ago to New York City, saw a matinee of Wicked. There was a time before our channel, but right after COVID, where when Phantom of the Opera opened back up, we spent one of her birthdays seeing that show and that show 4 times?
3.
3 times, sorry.
We saw it 3 days in a row.
We saw it 3 days in a row. The day before her birthday, maybe 2 days before. I can't remember. We saw it on her birthday. That's when we were set the closest. However, we also saw it the opening night after COVID, which was a once-in-a-lifetime. Again, I have like top moments of my life, and that's one of them. I mean, Andrew Lloyd Webber was there. Senator Chuck Schumer was there. Cameron McIntosh was there. We all had gifts in our seats, custom cookies, roses. The playbills they have a gold sticker. I have ours framed, actually framed ours, and gave it to Julie one year. And then outside after the show, they brought a DJ booth out. Dune was coming out at that time. So Zendaya was there. Timothy Chalamet was there. They were DJing out in the street. It was crazy. It was a crazy night. Awesome night. Anyway, we saw Wicked as a matinee at that time, and I loved Wicked. So whenever it comes out, we've taken grandmas there. We've taken moms there. But this time we got to sit essentially in the orchestra pit, which was both good and bad. I've never been that close before to see a show, but I ended up distracting myself watching the instruments play just about as much as listening to the actors and the singing. So that's why I say it was a good and a bad, because you didn't really know what to look at, because those guys are so talented in the orchestra, and they can't even see the show. They're just following their conductor, and their conductor's watching the show, singing the lyrics. I saw her mouthing the lyrics a number of times to make sure she was on point. It was amazing. It was amazing. The movie I won't talk a whole lot about, but Carl, I hope you enjoy part 2. Hope you get to see it live at some point in time if you haven't already, because it's a great show.
This next comment I have came from Captain Calculus, and he actually said this 7 days ago. And I've been thinking about this comment ever since. I read it and I just hadn't had the emotional stability, I guess, going through what I was going through to respond to it. But it meant a lot to me, Captain Calculus, that you left me this comment. I tend to get in my head every 6 months when it comes time to follow up with this oral situation. I got pretty traumatized when we first found out that I had this cyst in my jaw, and we went to the University of Gainesville in Florida, and here in the United States. They are basically like the grand poobah of dental medicine. They write the textbooks for all the colleges that are teaching dental students. So they're supposed to be like cutting edge with their research and things. And when we went to see them immediately after I got my initial diagnosis, and they gave me the gold standard treatment for my diagnosis. It was so traumatizing to me that I spent the rest of 2024 on this just downhill mental health trajectory. It was a really, really hard year for me before we found NYU. But even though we're going to NYU and they are willing to experiment on me whenever this cyst grows back, I just tend to kind of go into this big anxiety spiral, and I isolate myself sometimes from my friends and family more than I should. And in my head, I get all worked up because this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And when you hear somebody else share their story of the worst thing that ever happened to them, it really made me feel seen and connected with. Captain Calculus said here, 2 things we have in common, Julie. When I was 7, you might hear Aber drinking water in the background. When I was 7, I went with my family to an international cricket match.
Mm-hmm.
Before the game, I was watching the players warm up, standing behind what you would call the batters as they took warm-up throws. One got through, I think he means the ball, and it hit me in the mouth, smashing all of my front teeth out and breaking the bone above my teeth. I've spent hundreds of hours in dental surgeons and reconstruction ever since.
God.
And that is not terribly unlike the surgery that they were presenting as an option, the only option for me. And so if I had had a traumatic injury, I think I would feel differently about the way I feel about my situation. But you have lived what I have been so afraid of living through, where they have to just take out teeth, take out bone, rebuild things. And it meant a lot to me that you left me this comment, and it just made me feel like I'm not so alone. And thank you.
Hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of hours and dental surgeons and reconstruction since then. It meant a lot to me that you left this comment, and I wanted to respond to you immediately, but I've actually been avoiding our entire comment section all week because I was just a little overwhelmed. And first I was way too anxious to respond, and then I've just been kind of...
Well, before we had answers, you didn't know how do you respond to that?
I didn't know how to respond to anybody. You know. But I'm ready to respond now, and I can't say thank you enough for leaving that comment, because you made me feel like I'm not the only person in the world, and I know that I'm not, but I just don't know anybody else who can understand what they were trying to tell me I was going to have to go through. You may or may not have watched any of my glandular odontogenic cyst playlist. I've explained the entire story, like step by step, in those videos. I don't think we ever told the full story here on our daily blog channel, on our daily blogs, but thank you for leaving that comment. That actually bolstered me in ways I don't really know how to explain to you. It means a lot to me that you shared that with me. I hope you're doing okay. I hope that you've made a full and complete recovery from this, and you're such a strong person for having gone through that and for being willing to share that. That means a lot.
It's very brave. Yeah. To share that online.
He also said, I'm assuming Captain Calculus is a he. I guess I don't know. He also said, second thing, we have the exact same type of dog as you, a black Labradoodle. They look almost exactly the same. Well, we have a Cavapoo, but yes, basically the same thing. She's half poodle, half King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. She's 28 pounds. She should be 25 pounds. Completely spoiled rotten. She's like our child. Everybody thinks she's a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle. All doodles look alike, I think, kind of. But boy, are they something. They are like a next level, cuddly, clingy, just good all around, great family dogs. I don't even think of her as a dog. I think of her as my child. And as you've probably seen in some of our videos, we pretty much treat her like a kid. She has a seat belt. She goes everywhere we go. She sits at the table with us. She sleeps in the bed with us. She's rotten. She's so rotten. I'm sure your dog is spoiled too.
Okay, before I move on, I'll just go off of Julie's comment and say the same thing to Captain Calculus. Sharing that, I know that took a lot to share all of that, and reconstructive surgery is not an easy thing. So to realize that you've had to have that done multiple times, that's just amazing that you are still willing to share that and to be open with that. So I just want to say thank you for that on my side as well. My next comment is from, where did it go? Oh, it's from Robin.
I know which one you're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's another comment on my hair. So it's a video where I got my hair cut, and it's very short, but she says, man, Michael has a full head of thick hair, LOL. Yeah, I know. I get that from my mother. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I guess it could be the opposite. So it is not thin, thankfully. But yeah, I get that from my mom. There is, again, a lot of poofiness when there's no product in it. or if we're out and the humidity gets into it. It'll get thick fast. Every time that I have it cut, if I go to a regular person, eventually, after the first few times, it's going to be, man, your hair grows fast and it's really thick. So I tell them to thin it out, please, every time. And then about 3 weeks later, we do it all over again. But I wouldn't trade it, and I appreciate the comment. Being my age, I know that I'm in I hope, a better spot than the average person at 45 and a half. So thank you, I think, for the comment. It's just funny, though, that all these comments have come through on that one video that I didn't have any product in my hair.
Never do that again.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to do that again. No, it's funny, though. I appreciate that, Robin. Yes, I still have a full head of hair. I'm crossing my fingers that in 10 years I'll be able to say the same thing. Another regular one here. Did you see that, Mike? Mike, I hope you're doing well. I've still got to call you back, don't I? I apologize. It has just been...
You said you watched his live. You need to...
I did. Yeah, I did. I did watch the live. That was yesterday's from that horror convention. I know. It's just... it's so funny. I think Julie and I have spent so many days in a fog. When you do come out of it, it's the weirdest thing. When you do come out of it, you realize that there are all these things you just stopped caring about, thinking about, worrying about. Because your mind is so focused on the what if and the not knowing and the where do we go from here. It's just taken so long because you have to get into the space to realize that the appointment's coming up. Then you have to get into the space when you're there. And then when you hear the news you weren't expecting to hear, that nothing is going to happen, it takes even longer to get back out of that because you've tried to train your body and your brain to get set up for the eventuality of, we're going to have to do this. And then when you learn you don't have to, you've got to do the whole shifting and the chemicals have to rearrange and hormones have to do. It's been a wild, wild time. But thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to read your comment here. This is on the Michael Talks Movies and Julie gives a health update. So a few days before we left. Michael, it's awesome to hear about I Like Me, and says he will give it a watch for a 5-star review. And then he apologizes that everything Julie's having to go through. It's crazy, and he's, like most people, he has never heard of this. We had never heard of this prior. Wishing a successful follow-up, and hopefully an end can come soon. Well, that one, we have to put a little asterisk there because we don't know if the end or what the end might be on the soon part, but everything, of course, like we said, has come out to the good. And I'll briefly mention, he's talking about, and if you haven't seen the video, it's a John Candy documentary. I did a review one morning when I was at the gym early. It came out on Amazon Prime, I don't know, last week. I don't know if it's been out a week yet. Ryan Reynolds and Colin Hanks are the ones that really put this together. I think it's fascinating because it has all of the people that I watched growing up in the 80s kind of come back and give their thoughts on John. I really, really liked John Candy. Uncle Buck might be my favorite movie that he did, but if I don't know, if not that, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that was excellent. Anyway, I even watched the cartoon. If you guys remember the Saturday morning cartoon of Camp Candy, so that's I know that's aging me, but when I saw that this was coming out and that Ryan Reynolds had wanted to do a documentary on John because he was his favorite actor, he was the reason why he got into acting, I really wanted to see it. And so I do believe it is a 5-star review. It's fascinating to see his life and his history and the genetic heart issues that ran in his family. His dad passed away at like 35. He was younger than I was when he died. I think he was 42 or 43. And his brother also has heart issues. And so anyway, tying kind of all that in, it was a great documentary. And Mike, I've not got to ask you yet because I know this has been 8 days ago, but I hope you have had the opportunity to see it. If it is on Amazon Prime in the UK now, again, appreciate the comment. Definitely give it a watch if you have Amazon Prime. I think it's definitely worth your time.
Michael's typing a really long response to that last one, but I see Florida Bike Vlogger left you a comment. I told you this comment was here. He said, "Love that you take us along for all of it." I think he's just talking about our daily vlogs.
Oh.
And I need another run with me, but no pressure.
Yeah.
He posted that comment 6 days ago.
As you may say, that was one of the reasons why I did that video yesterday.
We heard you. Michael did a run with me yesterday. And I think that needs to be something that becomes a regular part of the channel, because when he's running, I know his thoughts are really clear, and so he's just able to like stream of consciousness, talk about what he's thinking,
That's really
how
all
he's
it
feeling,
is,
what he's watching. And I think those videos are really great. I enjoy going back and watching them, especially because he runs in a lot of places that I really like to walk or hike or take the dog. But I can't go for 9 miles. I don't want to walk more than 3 or 4, you know? So I enjoy watching Michael's run with me's too. But yeah, we hear you. I think we should have a run with me as often as possible.
I told them, I think I told them in yesterday's vlog, what I would like to do is set up maybe go back through and make a playlist, but moving forward, anytime that we get to a brand new location, or if we are back in Charlotte, maybe I run on the Greenway, but to have a standing series of every time Julie and Michael go to this city, I do a run with me. I'll find a spot that, you know, maybe is recommended, because you can search on like Reddit for places to run. There's also websites where you can search places to run if you're in a particular town and it's a large enough town, you know. Or like being back in Charlotte, we can get on the Greenway again, but we'll just get it on a different part of the Greenway, or maybe even get on a part that I've never been to on the Greenway. So I think anything, first of all, I will tell you this, I promise you this, is better than a track run, just running in circles. I know even in Ocala, running around the neighborhood wasn't the most exciting thing ever. But I do like the idea. I really like the idea when we start to do international. I think that'll be really fun. I've done that again. Unfortunately, we didn't have a channel. Or no, we had a channel in Greece, but I just never filmed a run with me. I never thought the GoPro would be stable enough. So there have been times I wish I had had it before in our previous travels, that I think just kind of moving forward, I would like to kind of make a playlist, even for myself, to say, oh, okay, here's where we ran the boardwalk at Disney. Here's where we went, you know, in Ocala, whatever that is. And that way, at least it'll come out, I'll say, you know, pretty regularly. I think I might do that moving forward. And like Julie said, it's a complete stream of consciousness. I told you guys yesterday, it's kind of like therapy. So it's really whatever I'm thinking at the time. But when you're going through that, the more miles you put in, and those of you who are runners know this, the more that endorphins and your serotonin, all your hormones are coming through. It is a very clear, conscious awareness, and it allows you to kind of dump, right? If there are things that are bothering you, you can talk them out loud, even if it is to nobody, which I have done before. And by the time you're finished, you kind of have that behind you, if you will. So that's how I look at the run with me. So anyway, I'm glad you enjoy them. And I'm thinking about, you know, moving forward, we'll just make it kind of a standing, hey, we're going to be here a week, 2 weeks, a month. And I'll just put a new one up when we get to a new location.
I'm going to create that playlist right now.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can go back and find any of your videos.
There might be a few.
You might hear Abra eating in the background, but we have one more comment left unresponded to. And it's another comment from Carl's Up Adventure.
All right.
We are really hoping to meet Carl. And I've already read this comment,
okay,
but I'm going to read it. We're going to go, it's kind of to both of us.
Let's do it.
It's fall, y'all. Mm-hmm. Fall colors look good on you guys. That cracked me up because back in January, we had our seasonal color analysis done. And we're considered autumns. So we're supposed to look good in brown, orange, yellow. The colors Michael hates. But yeah, we're still trying to learn what that color palette means.
That's true.
Before we had our colors done, we were black, white, gray, teal people, and none of those colors.
Yeah, it was like all of our
colors.
favorite colors were the same, and none of them were actually our colors once we had the analysis done. So yeah. All right, what's Carl saying?
Appreciate it again with the soup vlog. Tuna cheesy soup.
No.
I necessarily don't want to make that mistake, so good call out, yeah. We do this every fall. I think Michael told you. We'll invent or find some soup recipe and eat it on repeat until we're sick to death of it, and then we'll never make it again come spring.
But that's easy to get salmon or tuna or chicken. I mean, they're all right
They all
there
look
on
the
the
same.
same eye level. Yeah.
The daily vlogging and
Uh-huh.
watching has become a part of my daily routine. I would be sad the day the dailies are peeled back, but for now, it's a necessary routine. It's crazy, right?
Well, we go through this thing of where we're like, we're not interesting today. Should we put something up? And then Julie makes a good point, to, especially to Carl's comment. It's like, well, there may be people that just want to see what real life is. And for me, I have to try to understand that. But again, remember, Julie's a much bigger fan of YouTube than I am. She got me turned on to YouTube. I only listen to it for music. So, I mean, if that's what it is, I'm totally okay with continuing daily vlogs. Like, that's fine with me. I enjoy filming and talking to the camera.
I try to keep it short on days where we're not doing anything interesting and just do like a little Jeep chat or something.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying being daily vloggers. We've only
Yeah.
ever done daily vlogging a few times.
Mhm.
We always daily vlog in January because that's World Carnivore Month, but
Yeah.
it's pretty much just about our food, and I'd like to get away from that this upcoming January.
Yeah.
We always daily vlog in January, and then we have daily vlogged our international travels. Like last year in Colombia, we daily vlogged
That's right.
for 2.5 months straight.
Well, it was all new to us. Yeah.
Ireland, Greece, whatnot.
Yeah.
But we were never really, I can't remember any other time that we were daily vloggers. So this is still kind of new. We've only been doing it now for about a month, but I'm really liking it.
Me too.
It makes me feel like I used to put a lot of pressure on myself to come up with a themed video for every single day. And we were daily content creators for probably at least a year and a half, maybe even 2
It's been that
before we
long?
went to
Oh,
daily
wow.
vlogging. But most of the work was on me, and I loved it. I was having a lot of fun, but it was a lot
That's
of
true.
work.
That's
I
true.
mean, hours and hours and hours in museums, driving all over the place, digging up history, and I enjoyed every minute of it, but I was kind of burning myself out a little. So now that we've gone to daily vlogging, I just feel like I have friends that I'm chatting with, and
Same. Absolutely the same. Yeah.
I said, I've watched you guys for a while, and I know a lot about you and learning even more as a viewer. It doesn't return serve. I'm just a chat bot to the videos. You are not a chat
No.
bot to us.
No, not at all.
I don't know if your real name is Carl, but we call you Carl. Carl's Up Adventure. You are not just a chat bot to us. We always look forward to what you have to say. And one of these days, if you see us out in public, you can make the executive decision to introduce yourself and introduce that you know who we are and we don't know who you are. If you want.
Yeah. Somebody did it Playa Linda one time.
He said you could always study my Instagram. We
Oh.
have Instagram.
We-
I have not. I don't use it. I forget I even have
I
it.
don't. I literally follow like some running and some diving, and that's it. I don't get on there and
It's
actually.
on my second page.
Yeah.
My second screen. I use Facebook more, but I really only follow pages, not people.
Right. Exactly.
I
That's
completely
yeah.
don't even remember to check Instagram. I should probably get on there and see if he has an Instagram. We may have already followed him. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I was better with social media. I
know.
don't have time, and whenever I do try to get on Facebook, it doesn't seem like it takes long before I'm like done with the internet for today. It
Yeah,
doesn't
the
take
internet.
long before I see something and I'm just like, I want to go back to the real world and touch grass.
Well, your real world exactly.
Yeah. You guys have a jam-packed agenda. Wait, whether you guys
Whether,
have
yeah.
a jam-packed agenda or you sit on the couch or in the car and chat, it's still content and it's fun with the coffee talks or just sharing your genuineness of the friendly vibes you put out. Thank you. That's what we wanted. We really wanted to we wanted to put ourselves out on the internet as, hey, we're friends. We want to be friends. We want to meet friends. Like I said earlier in this video, this YouTube channel started when we were living in Florida. We had just moved from North Carolina. I have a whole social network here, and moving away from it was really hard for me. But then in Florida, we just were striking out. We could not make good, deep, real, quality friendships.
Right.
That's not to say they weren't great people. It's just we didn't find people we connected with.
We could, yeah.
That we
Yeah.
had things in common with. I tried really hard. I
You
tried
did.
so
You
hard.
did.
And I was so lonely when we were in Florida. And making the YouTube channel for me became it filled a void for me. But it took a long time before we actually started meeting people on YouTube, and it feels like over the last year, it's just kind of blossomed into
absolutely.
a community. I consider all of you friends. Like,
yes.
When I'm talking to Michael about our friend Carl, our friend Rob,
and that's how you say it. I was like, yeah,
well, our friend bike blogger. I've asked him twice what his name is, and both times I have forgotten, and I hate that. I am not good with names. I'm so not good with names. But we feel like all of y'all are friends too. And that's exactly why we're doing a video like we're doing today, because this just feels like we got a bunch of postcards in the mail from our favorite people.
Yeah.
Speaking of a fork in the road, I've started to wonder, this is the part I really wanted to show you, if you guys would entertain traveling west across the country to a central and west part of the country.
Okay.
Then he says, my character limit is reaching, so I have to approach you. I have to catch you next time.
So what's funny, Carl, is yes.
That is hilarious.
While we were in D.C., before Italy ever came up as a topic or a location, Julie and I were talking about going out west in a couple of different scenarios. Do we take the truck? Do we fly and rent a car? Do we rent an RV and do a road trip? We hadn't really landed on how we were going to get there, but we thought maybe Vegas or north of Vegas would be our setup spot, and then drive out to different locations to see different things, whether that's climbing somewhere, hiking somewhere, doing something water related, all the national parks. I can tell you, I've not been west, well, a bunch of flyovers. I've been to LA, I've been to San Diego, but I've not really been west to discover anything of Colorado, I guess. And I have not seen any of those national parks, monuments, any of the natural structures, and I want to really bad. And so we'd kind of landed on that before the idea of Italy was brought up. And then when we heard Italy, we're like, well, yeah, we know out west. Julie, she brought up a really good point. Everything in the U.S. is going to be there with accessibility, regardless of how old we are, as long as we are still alive. But these other cities that have much older structures might not last as long. And so when we heard international and we realized that might be the only international trip we could take in 25, that's what we decided to do. Now, shifting that head on a dime like we did when we found that we were not going to Italy, since we had packed for summer and water, decided we're just going to go south and spend the time in Florida. Short answer is yes, we have thought about that, talked about that, maybe a potential for next year. It is on our list. It's really about logistically, what do we want 26 to look like? How do we want it to look? And you'll learn more about that later and what I'm meaning there. But
we haven't even really figured it out for ourselves.
That's right.
Still
We've not
tossing ideas around.
But it is funny that you brought that up, because that's
uncanny,
where we
Carl.
went. Yeah, that's where we went. Our heads went.
A couple times he's like predicted something that we either planned and were keeping a secret, or had planned and then had to cancel. In this case, this was actually what we were going to be doing in the month of September and early October. We were going to go on a road trip out west. And then it fell through for Italy, and then
we went due south. I mean, literally the next morning.
Pretty much 100% of the time, I would always choose international travel over domestic. Yeah. Like Michael said, it's largely because I know the United States does a fantastic job of making as much as they possibly can of their national parks, their nature, whatnot, accessible for all ages, all levels of ability. But the rest of the world, not so much. And while I guess I'm not really young, am I? I'm over the hill now, but I still feel like I have the energy to travel the world, and I want to see as much of it as I can while I can. But in the back of my mind, I've always thought the United States would kind of always be there and be accessible to me. And anytime we have the slightest opportunity to do so, we jet off to Florida as fast as we can.
Yeah. And I will. So here, this is an example. Did you know yesterday I got a news alert that for the first time, I want to say 200, maybe 400 years, all the scaffolding at the Colosseum at the Parthenon has now been removed.
Wow! What?
You remember how much scaffolding was there when we were there?
I have a joke.
It's all been removed.
No matter where I go in the world, whatever I'm there to see is covered in scaffolding, which is great that they have the resource and ability to restore these old things. And I'm probably just a product of my time, where I'm coming up in a time where everything needs restoring. But I went to, every time I've ever been to New York City, everything was covered in scaffolding. Wherever we
Well,
go.
it reminded me that to your point, other countries there's not ramps. We had to do a lot of stairs just to get to the Parthenon, to get up there to see the different buildings. So yes, like Julie said, we realize we are aging regardless of how young we feel. And so the international, it's kind of like, look, the U.S., we think we're going to live long enough to be able to see that too.
I have been out west. And
I know Julie's been out.
She's not all of it by any means, about half of it. And I freaking love it. It is one of my dreams to rent an RV and just spend an entire year going from national park to national park. I want to kayak all the rivers. I want to hike all the mountains. I want to take my dog to see all these things. That was kind of a plan that we had for September that went sideways in favor of Italy, which went sideways and became a dive trip in Florida.
I think out of all of them, I really want to see Moab.
Yeah.
I think. Which I guess kind of leads, I told Carl that we were going to kind of make our announcement at the end of the video.
Yeah, maybe.
You're talking about how uncanny.
Anyone who's still here, Carl's uncanny.
I know.
If anybody is still here, now's the time to make our announcement where we're going to go next. Okay. We are in North Carolina for all of this week.
We think
we cannot avoid that.
Saturday
we have things
morning?
we must do here.
Oh, yeah, we got adulting to do this week.
Speaking of adulting, the Jeep, we have made the decision. We're keeping it. We have 3 months left before the lease is up. So we've decided it's actually more responsible to keep it. Yeah. We're going to put new tires on it. The tires can't come in until Friday.
I complained about that yesterday, too.
Oh, you did? The tires aren't coming in until Friday, so we're going to have to stay here for a week until we can. We're not safe to travel without.
No, we wouldn't. Yeah, no. Yes. So, Carl, you are right in assuming so Saturday morning. Let's say it is Saturday morning that we take off on another road trip. It will be back to Florida.
One thing we were thinking we were going to be in the United States because I wasn't going to have a passport.
Oh yes.
So we didn't even try to plan
or recovering.
We didn't even try to plan anything international because I thought I would either be recovering from surgery or not have a passport.
Right.
So we've decided Florida is always like our
it's our escape.
It's our go-to.
Yeah, it is. And we will be there this time for how many total? Is it 6?
Let me tally this up.
Okay.
Today is October 19th. We are leaving on October 25th.
We think.
We are going for 2 weeks to 2 different places in Florida, probably. Then we are going to Orlando for at least a week, maybe 2.
Okay.
We will be heading back to North Carolina towards the end of November.
Okay.
But we are going to be in Florida for a total 1, 2, 3, just about a little shy of 4 weeks.
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah.
Okay. We will start, Carl and everybody, back. I think we will start back in Ocala. Yes, to dive. I have already talked to our guide, the shop that we really like. We're going to connect on Tuesday to make a plan, but essentially that's what we will end up heading back down to start the trip with. Now, Julie's right. We're not sure how long we will be there or how many sites we may go to. There is a potential to go, I don't know, I'm playing with something in my head that maybe gets us a little more water after Ocala, but then we will go to Orlando and spend the remainder of time there.
We are trying to overlap our trip to Orlando with a friend of ours who's going to be in Orlando, and I'm not sure if this person wants me to announce that they're going to be in Orlando, so I'm not going to say the name, but we're trying to overlap our trip with a friend in Orlando, and any of our friends who are watching this from YouTube, if you would like to meet up in Orlando, we would love to meet up with you. We do have APs to the Disney parks, but that does not mean we don't want to go to other parks too, perhaps.
We also have scheduled the Epcot Dive Quest this time. So as long as it doesn't cancel, we both have a spot.
Did we tell them how hard we tried to dive at Epcot?
That day, remember I think we titled it When Dreams Don't Come True.
We tried so hard to dive in Epcot.
I called so many people too to try to get a magical moment. Yeah, it was.
They really wanted to make this magical moment for us, but something was going on with the actual aquarium.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the aquarium. I still never found out.
But they ended up canceling the dives on the day that.
That's right.
There was one
or
spot
at least that
open.
afternoon, yeah.
There was only one spot open, and I was just telling Michael to do it. He didn't want to do it without me, but I didn't care. I just wanted one of us to do it. And there was only one spot left, and he was kind of like refreshing the page, trying to see if a second spot would come open, but then they canceled the whole dive. So.
Yeah.
And they don't do dives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because they actually have their professional divers go in and I guess assess the tank, clean the tank.
Something like that, yeah.
That's the job I want. I want to be the scuba diver
I
that
know,
cleans
right?
up the huge aquarium in Epcot.
So we're excited for that too. So it may be a little dive heavy. That's mainly due
The
to
first
the
2
fact,
weeks, yeah.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks, right? But we also want to do. I think we want to do some of the special ticketed events while we're in Orlando
we haven't booked
too.
any yet, but
No, we haven't booked any yet. We're playing. I don't want to say fast and loose, but we are being very open with our timeline. Just knowing when we need to be back in Charlotte, but allowing this Florida trip to kind of play out, maybe even a little bit differently than it did before. You know, before it was like a week here, and a week here, and so we're just trying to play with what suits us best. So yeah,
I need to go look up Carl's Instagram. I don't even know what he looks like, so that if I see him, he doesn't think I'm being super rude and just like walk right past him in the park or something. That would make me feel really bad.
No, right, yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be in Orlando for at least a week, starting around November the 8th, I think.
Okay.
We may be there as much as 2 weeks. We haven't really, it kind of just depends on if we've done everything we feel like we want to do and if we feel like we want to move on to another place in Florida. But I feel like it'll probably be the full 2 weeks.
I think so too. But
I'd
yeah,
like
we
to have some magical moments.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Now that we have full steam ahead on the outlook for the next 6 months, we want to make sure we are taking advantage of that. And so this is one of the things we wanted to go back and do.
He said that he has hit his character limit, and so have we. This one clip for this one comment has rambled on for over
Holy crap, I just see that. Wow.
I'm going to leave you a super quick comment on the comment that you left for us, and say if you we
Give
had
him a timestamp.
An 18-minute response.
Just to you, Carl.
Also, the battery is about to die, so fortunately,
Perfect timing.
Fortunately, that is the very last comment that is unresponded to. There are a lot of comments on another video that I shared, but I do not respond to comments on that. So I think we're all caught up. I think we're all caught up.
Okay.
I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend.
Me too.
And you have a really great week. This will be Monday when this video comes out. If anyone wants to, how long do you think this video is going to be?
I'm not sure now. I thought it was short up until this clip.
I can't wait to tell them we've rambled on for 18 minutes.
Oh.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow in another daily vlog.
It's time to get the chicken cheesy soup out of the fridge.
Bye.
Bye, guys.